Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5.
China has hit back at Donald Trump, raising tariffs on US goods to 125% from 84%. It comes as Asia and US markets plunge. The US dollar fell to its weakest level against the euro in just over 3 years as the US-China war escalated. China says there will be no further tariff increases, as the current level already means trade between the two countries is practically impossible. Meanwhile, Democrats in Congress have questioned whether Donald Trump and his allies may have acted improperly on his declaration that it was a great time to buy stocks on Wednesday. He made the comment shortly before announcing he was cutting back on his new tariffs, a move that sent markets rallying. Ukraine's allies have pledged 21 billion euros in new military support for Kyiv, following talks with 50 countries in Brussels. Germany's defence minister Boris Pistorius added that attacks demonstrate that Russia is not yet interested in peace and that Ukraine needs a strong military.
The fact that Germany and the UK are co-chairing the UDCG underlines that, as Europeans, we have a special responsibility for restoring peace and freedom on the European continent. And we are living up to this responsibility. Ukraine has become the epicenter of a broader conflict, a conflict between freedom and oppression, between the recognition of global standards and aggressive imperialism, between democracy and authoritarianism. All this is about whether the strength of law or the law of the strongest will prevail in international relations. It is about whether international relations are governed by peaceful cooperation between sovereign states with equal rights, or whether would-be imperial powers can simply move borders and expand spheres of influence to their liking, as they used to do a long time ago.
Extraordinary footage shows the moment 6 people, including 3 children, were killed after a helicopter carrying a family of tourists crashed into the Hudson River in New York. In the video, the main body of the aircraft smashes into the water, followed by what looks like a propeller. The family of 5 was from Spain, and the 6th person was the pilot. All were on board the helicopter at the time of the crash, which is under investigation. The head of the US military base in Greenland has been fired after she reportedly sent an email distancing herself from Vice President J.D. Vance's criticism of Denmark. The US military's Space Operations Command said Colonel Susanna Meyers had been removed from her role at Pitavik Space Base due to a loss of confidence in her ability to lead. Last month, Vance said Denmark had not done a good job for Greenlanders and had not spent enough on security while visiting the Danish territory. The US Supreme Court has instructed the Trump administration to facilitate the return of a Maryland man who was mistakenly deported to a mega jail in El Salvador. The Trump administration has conceded that Kilmar Abrego Garcia was deported due to an administrative error, but appealed against a district court's order to facilitate and effectuate his return to the US. On Thursday, in a 9-0 ruling, the Supreme Court declined to block the lower court's order. A general strike against public spending cuts in Argentina has severely disrupted transport. All domestic flights have been cancelled, while trains and metro services have been suspended in Buenos Aires. Many shops remained closed in the capital, but bus drivers continued to work. Airlines said international flights would go ahead as planned, with only a few delays. It's the largest general strike called by Argentina's powerful unions since President Javier Milei took office at the end of 2023. And authorities in India's Kuno National Park have reinstated a forest worker who was suspended after he was seen offering water to a cheetah and her cubs in a viral video. Satyan Aryan Gurjar, a driver at the sanctuary in Madhya Pradesh state, violated instructions which said only authorised personnel could go near the big cats. Cheetahs were declared extinct in India in 1952, but they were reintroduced in Kuno in 2022 as part of an ambitious plan to repopulate the species.
And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.